Well, it would seem that Ski Rage is very much alive and well, even during the socially distanced times of the coronavirus. I am Tim from Ski Rex Media. How are you doing this week? Hopefully, this is the second episode of the week for an unplanned double whammy of Ski Rex Media goodness, if it is as good as I hope it is. I hope it's good enough that people like it. And if you do like it, please hit like buttons wherever, if you're watching the video versions, or subscribe or follow or hit ratings and things like this. If you like on Apple Podcasts, I've had 5-star ratings out there. Please rate, and that's, if you think I did something bad, say that. Then I can learn it and do better. You know what I mean? Guest interaction or fan interaction. I like that too. In fact, I was just skiing with fans, which is what the previous episode was about that came out, hopefully, several hours before this one. This one I think is going to come out in the afternoon. Hopefully it did. And the other one came out in the morning. So check that one out too if you would. Now, Ski Rage. That's one of the reasons I'm doing a second episode this week. Because yesterday, day before, yesterday, sometime over the weekend in the beginning of the week, I saw the name of my original home mountain pop up. For those new to Ski Rex Media, that is Mount Snow in Vermont. I grew up in that area. I worked there in high school and just out of high school. I've skied it more than probably any other mountain that I've skied. Back in the days of the American Skiing Company in the late 90s, I worked there, skied there quite a bit, as well as Haystack right next door, which is now closed. So that caught my eye. That's my point about that. It caught my eye. I was like, ooh, Mount Snow's in the news. What did they do? Is this something to do with the Epic Pass? Is this something to do locally? What is it? Well, it turns out there's a video making the rounds. I wouldn't say it's gone viral. Maybe viral in the ski and snowboard and snow sports communities, but I don't think it's gone viral. In fact, I'm not even going to take the time to bootleg it and add it here. I'll put a link to a Reddit thread that has it, a video version or maybe another version. But what the video is, it shows a woman, an adult woman, getting in a fight with a 13-year-old kid. And that's what the other kids who are standing around are saying, that he's 13, all this and other stuff. Now, the gist of the story is this. Woman is waiting for, there's also a post about this on Unofficial Networks too, so you can check it out there if you'd like. But I will put a link in as best I can. There'll be a link in the audio versions. There'll be a link in the YouTube video version. There won't be a link in the IGTV version because you really can't do much links on Instagram, much with linking. In fact, I built to use put one link in the profile. I built a little, you've seen them, the different little link page that people send you. I put my own together, and there it is. But it won't have this link. But you can find this easy. Just Mount Snow Ski Rage, put that in somewhere. Or like I said, go to Unofficial, the Reddit link, wherever, you'll find it. But the gist is, this woman, she was going to take pictures of her friend hitting a rail. Issue was, her friend went all the way to the bottom to catch the lift to come back down. So you're thinking at least 15 minutes. She's standing there. She's blocking up the place. These kids want to hit this rail. I'm not sure which terrain park, where on the mountain. I'm going to assume somewhere in Carinthia, since that's the big terrain park area over there. But I don't know exactly where. So anyway, kids are asking her to move. She says no. She goes Karen, to borrow from a young person's phrase, because one of the snowboard kids got turned into a punk, the stereotype, and called her a retard. Obviously, it's something you shouldn't do, especially these days. And she flips the hell out. She's off her skis. She walks up to the kid. As she's walking up to the kid unbuckles his. She two-arm hits him dead in the chest. She's screaming shit and swearing at him. The kids are screaming shit and swearing at her. She actually turns and full swing right hand cold clocks this kid, a 13-year-old kid, probably half her age. Cold clocks him right upside the head. And he takes it. He didn't go down. When she pushed him, he didn't go down. When she punched him, he didn't go down. So either he's a little tough, for taking a hit, or, helmets work. It could be said in that case. And the fight ensued, and then who knows what happens. I don't know. As I'm recording this Tuesday afternoon, I have not seen anything about the woman being identified. I have not seen anything about Dover or state police picking this woman up and taking her away. I don't know if there has been a statement from Mount Snow, but I doubt it, or Vail Resorts in general, because it's really not something they need, especially this year with all the hatred that's been thrown towards Vail Resorts. They don't really need this on them. And again, like I always say, if some kind of bullshit happens like this, it's not the mountain. Don't think, wow, there's a fight at Mount Snow. Fuck Mount Snow. We're never going there. It's bad. It's not true. Mount Snow is great. I love Mount Snow. I still to this day love Mount Snow. I haven't been there in a long time, but I would still love it. For me, it's a lot of nostalgia, but it's a great place. It really is a great place. I really enjoy the place. But, I don't know what's happened to this woman, to the kids. What you see, though, is an act of ski rage mixed in with acts of punk kids. And I just said punk snowboard kids before. I'm just joshing. Like, they could have been, there could be punk skier kids. It's just punk kids. Kids turn into punk kids all the time. Have happened for years outside of snow sports. It doesn't matter. I just had a run in with some punk kids. I was walking by. They were talking shit at me. And I was like, really, dude? And just kept walking. I ignored them. However, we all do know, and I'm not saying what this woman did was right. What I'm saying, and ski rage is not right. It is akin to road rage. And road rage can get you into trouble, get you hurt, can get you killed. Ski rage, similar thing for many reasons. And, take a deep breath and walk away. And I get it. Maybe you're having a bad day, or, maybe you had road rage all the way up while you were driving to the mountain, but you let it go, and then whatever on the mountain set you off. Or maybe you think you're tough and entitled and have some kind of armor that society granted you, and you start some shit, which is really what we see here. Now, again, I'm not saying, and again, watch the video if you want. You don't really have to. The gist of it was what I gave you. Woman's in the way, being rude. Kids talk some shit. She got in the kid's face, pushed him, hit him, but he was acting like a dick anyway. It's a whole thing. So let's start there. And again, if you want to watch it, but that's the gist of it. Now, never block up a feature at a park for a couple reasons. One, it's rude. It's just straight rude. There is the unwritten rules, and because they are unwritten, do you really have to follow them? That's not really the debate. It's rude. Get out of the way. You're not the only person on the hill. This is not your park. It's all very simple, very basic, very kindergarten shit. Secondly, it's not safe. If you are standing in the middle of the trail off skis, you could get on a bad day in the wrong place. Now, she was at the top of the feature, so she was very much in view. So the safety aspect really isn't as big a deal as the rudeness, but it could be. If someone came off the feature, didn't see you, hit you, everybody goes to the hospital. It sucks. It was just something she shouldn't have done, especially since her friend was nowhere near there, it would seem. Like, the story goes that her friend took the lift and was coming back around. I'm like, that's a good 15 minutes minimum. I don't know how many people were there. If it happened over the weekend and it was a big weekend, she might be standing in a line for 15 minutes. This woman might be half an hour out. Get out of the way. There's no reason for you to be there. There's no reason for you to wait. It was rude. Secondly, this woman is in the wrong. You don't hit a kid, even a teenage punk kid. Now, I can understand the rage. I can understand it. Like I said, I ran into those kids the other day, and part of me wanted to slap the shit out of them. Like, honestly, and we've all been there, and we've been there with kids. We've been there with other adults. But because we do, as humans, try to at least feign civilization, like we try to fake that we're civilized or whatever it may be, we try to be, you take the deep breath, say screw it, maybe throw a finger, and then move on. So she, like I borrowed a word that's used, which I guess is offensive now. I don't know. This video was titled "To See She Went Total Karen" or something like that. They use the word Karen. But she did. She got crazy for no reason other than these kids. And again, understandable. We can all understand punk kids talking shit. It is unnecessary. And I'll get to that too. But she stomped up the hill in her ski boots, and she pushed the kid, and she punched the kid. And, all hell broke loose. Not all hell, because nobody else jumped in the fight. They were just talking more shit from the sideline. Typical gang of kids being punks. You know, that's just what it is. Now, just because, and again, this is one of these lessons that you can take to the real life outside of Ski Rex Media. You can use this IRL in real life. Just because she was wrong does not make the kid right at all. This is a problem. Not a problem, because there are always punk kids, but it seems to be getting worse. Not in as often as it happens, but for the reason. You know, at one point, kids were just trying to be kids, thinking they're having fun, talking shit, how tough they are, whatever. Bullies, whatever. You know, that shit happens. But just like this chick, this woman, I will swear to you, because she... you could tell by the way she was acting. And again, I could be 100% off on this. I could be 2 tons of wrong. Like, I have no qualms with being wrong. You know this. She thought because she was a woman, obviously, she could, and an old, you know, an adult woman, she could start shit, and she was protected. That society has granted her this magic armor that I'm a woman, so I won't get hit, I won't get talked shit at, none of this. Now, the kid did shove her back. Now, you could say, shouldn't hit a girl. I agree with that to a point. But she did hit him first. She did push it first. At this point, he's defending himself. Like, because even though she is twice his age, they were the same size. So, you know, he could have probably, if he wanted to, done some damage. You know, but just his shit talking wasn't right either, because he has that same entitled society armor. I'm a kid, so I am invincible. I can say what I want, do what I want. If anybody does anything to me, they're the ones that are going to get in trouble, not me. That's just the punk mentality. So they're both wrong. Like, you know who was right in this situation? Anybody who saw this shit going down went past and hit that rail instead of waiting. Like, they didn't have to wait their turn. They're like, fuck these people. I ain't got time for it. I'm here to have fun. And they hit the rail. That was the person who was right. The ski rager was not right. The ski punks were not right, or snowboard punks. You know, and again, it's not about skiing or snowboarding. I'm not talking about stereotypes here. I'm talking about the way these kids were acting. And they were cussing and swearing and being disrespectful, but she was too. Obviously, nobody was right here. She should have gotten the hell out of the way, and let the ski rage go, because it's not good, because it could have gotten her hurt. It could have gotten that kid hurt. And it's going to one day. Like, that kid's going to be talking shit at somebody who's much bigger and who's not going to care. And he's not going to be wearing that ski helmet. And dude is going to drop him like a bad habit. Just hammer this kid to the ground, knock his teeth out. Similarly, she's learning if she gets identified or has been identified, and the Dover cops show up at her condo and take her to jail. She will hopefully learn the lesson. And sometimes people don't learn that lesson from that. You can say what you want. Talk as much shit as you want. This is America, man. It's a protected right in this country. But you still have to take responsibility for it. And I'm not saying her actions are correct, but it could happen. And that could happen to you. It could happen to me. I was a shit talker too. Like, don't let me think. Don't think that I'm going at this from a holier than thou, like, you know, mind frame. I'm not. I've been guilty of shit talking too. And have been very aware that if I did it, anytime someone could knock my friggin' teeth out, someone could go so far as to pull a gun and put it in my face. I'm not saying these are good things. I'm not saying this is what should happen. Violence is wrong. I do not condone it. I do not participate in it. But I understand when it happens, and you can't always stop it. It's unfortunate, but humans are just not there yet. You know, we're still working towards peace all over the place. You know what I mean? You know, ski rage is bad, man. And we've seen it. And it happens between kids and adults all the time. Remember that guy down in Jersey at Mountain Creek? Some kid got in his face and he stuck him with a ski pole, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, it sucks that they do it to kids, but it's not good to do it to adults either. Like, it's just bad all around. And I've seen ski rage, and I've almost participated in it. Like, I've given people shit on the mountain. I've seen fights. Like, it sucks. But it can happen anywhere. It's not just skiing. A lot of the things we've seen this year, talking about social issues and other things, as a function of skiing have nothing to do with skiing. It just, other than it happened to happen on a ski mountain or while skiing or snowboarding or something similar. Generally, like I said, you could take these lessons, what I talk about, and other things to real life and what happens in other places. And this is one of them, man, because it's also road rage. It's also any kind of rage. If you are an angry person, that's a problem. If you are an angry, entitled person who thinks society has granted you some kind of armor because of who or what you might be, that's a bigger problem because you have some kind of odd arrogance and I think entitlement works here, that you will, like, that woman honestly thought she could have mouthed off, and she's right, kids should not be just throwing out calling people a retard for no reason. Like, that's bullshit. Like, he shouldn't be doing that. He should have been respectful. They all could have handled it like this. I'll tell you what, kids, any teens and tweens who listening to this, here's what they should have done. I know they want to look tough and they think who the hell they are. And again, it could have ended much worse. They could have been somebody much bigger than him. They could have called him a retard and he could have just hammered that dude to the ground, and then his friends would have jumped in. If that person had friends, and it would turn to a friggin' brawl. And now the ski patrol, ambassadors, lifties, other people are trying to break that up while they're trying to get the Dover police there on snowmobiles to get up there and help break it up. And they're just trying to, they're calling in a damn paddy wagon, which no one should need a van to arrest that many people, but it happens. It could have gotten a lot worse, and luckily this didn't, because like I said, I haven't heard a lot about it. Like, some people have said this is viral. I think it's going to be a nothing story, but it does say that even in the times of social distancing, people are willing to jump in your face and kick some ass, and that's not good. Try to avoid that as best as you can. There's no reason for it. It ruins your day. It ruins my day. It ruins their day. Even, like, it ruins other people, because now there's this fight going on and maybe nobody else could hit that rail. But like I was saying, kids, if that shit happens, especially with another adult, say, you know what? All right. And you book it down to the bottom and you tell somebody. Like, I know you say, I don't want to be a tattletale, none of this. Let me tell you something. If you just would have said, hey, look, there's someone jacking up at the terrain park. Somebody's in the way. They're being rude. Somebody's going to get hurt. Someone from the mount will go down and say, hey, lady, you got to move. And if they give them shit, boom, pass is pulled. She's gone. She's gone. And the more shit they give that person, now she's definitely identified. They'll have her name. She's going to... eventually it could lead to an arrest, which this should. Like I say, even though I understand why she got as pissed as she did, it's still not the right thing to do. And she should be picked up, and maybe she was. Maybe so one of the kids was smart enough to go down or make the call, and the Dover cops met her at the bottom and took her away. Shout out to the Dover Police Department. I don't know any of them anymore, but I have in the past. The long ago past, 20 years ago past. But yeah, ski rage is bad, man. Don't do it. Take a deep breath. And it sucks because it can get out of hand like anything else. Once there's alcohol added into it, people are having a couple drinkies during the day and they're out skiing, man, that could, if they're a mean drunk, that it could get even worse, even faster. We've seen it on the road. We've seen it at concerts. We've seen it at ball games, and other sporting events. We've seen it, just walking down the street. If you've been in a party town, fights can break out. Las Vegas, New Orleans, New York City, Boston. You think you're down in this awesome commercial, leisure area, and people are drinking, have a good time, and there's bars, and two people who are just pissed drunk and pissed off and just start hammering down on each other, man. It's not good. Take the deep breath, walk away, and do tell somebody. I know nobody wants to be a tattletale, but sometimes it is the quickest way to get something dealt with, and dealt with appropriately, where nobody has to freaking yell at each other. No one has to get hit. Hopefully no one has to get hit, but less likely that someone's going to get hit or pushed or say something or go to jail or whatever. It's just that simple. And you're not wearing your helmet to take punches. You're wearing it to protect yourself in case something happens. So let the ski rage go. And if it's happening here in Vermont, man, it could happen anywhere. This is one of the nicest places on the planet, even with tourists. 'Cause I'll guarantee you, neither of these people, nobody involved in that situation was a local. And you could say, Tim, that's kind of a dick thing to say. And you're right, it is kind of a dick thing to say. But I mean, you never know. I could be wrong. That fucking kid could go to Wilmington High School. Actually, I don't think you go to Wilmington High School anymore. I think they closed it and sent them all to Whitingham. I don't remember. But they could go to Leland and Gray for all I know, or even Arlington, or out in Brattleboro. I don't even know. But, yeah, that was a dick thing to say. I shouldn't have said that. They're not locals, but you know, locals really don't ski at local mountains, so I'm willing to bet. In any case, it doesn't matter who did it, where they lived, or why. It doesn't matter what jokes I make about locals or tourists or whatever. None of it matters. What matters is that we need to take the deep breaths. I know this year has been hard and it sucks and everything, and that's a problem too. You know, people are getting back outside and they're now just growing accustomed to being around more people again. You know, and that might have played a part. I don't know, but you know, think we're supposed to be civilized. I know civilization is kind of just a surface thing and it's very fragile, but we have to try. We have to try, because even I, like this year, one year, I had some kid trying to do flatland snowboarder tricks. He was trying to do spins. We were standing next, like he almost hurt a little kid. He almost hit me. Now, if he hits me, fine. I'll mouth off with him, cuss him out. He was just trying to look cool in front of his chick, and it's just like, bro, you don't look cool anyway, and she don't even really like you. You know, she's just here because it's a ski day, and you guys are in like, you are like freshmen or sophomores. You don't know shit about shit. I didn't when I was your age. You don't either. And you almost hit a little kid and sent that kid flying. That would have been bad. All because you're not paying attention to the sign that says go slow, which also means cut the shit, and we can all go to the lift and get in line and be fine. Don't do that shit. But I was mad. That day I was mad. I did tell the kid, what the fuck? And threw the finger at him and, all that. And he kind of shrugged it off, but he didn't hang around to talk about it either. And I don't think I'm that intimidating of a person, to be honest, but whatever. So who knows? Who knows the reasons why? Like that kid, that was obvious. He was showing off. But, sometimes it's not even obvious and someone could snap like that and it all just turns to shit. So let's not ski rage. Let's not see any more videos of Karen types beating up punk kids, snowboarders and skiers and, just punk kids in general. And let's see where that goes. Right? Right. I don't know. And again, they may or may not have been locals. I don't know. I was just talking shit. But who knows? Right? Right. I don't know. But I've been safe, and pretty much everybody I know has been safe this year. So that's good. And so let's push through the spring here and into the summer part of the season for those who can get to the high ground to ski the natural stuff, or those who can get onto plastic hills or indoor facilities. We only have one here in the U.S., one indoor facility, but hit it if you can. I imagine that in summer and fall, as the travel restrictions start to clear up and everybody's open, that place is going to be jumping. So even when all the need for reservations in most places are done, you'll probably want to try and reserve your ticket there too, because it's going to be jumping. And they may be able to raise their capacity, but they still have a limit because it's indoors. So there's that. Plus grass skiing, that's something I'm looking into this year, so we'll check that out. And no more raging. I don't want to hear that somebody picked up their ski and just fucking tomahawked right into somebody. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking took an axe handle style friggin' baseball bat, just knocks them upside the head with a ski or a pole or anything like that. I don't want to hear about that. Right? Right. So thank you for listening or watching. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, like I said, to subscribe or follow or hit like buttons or send emails. The link is in the description. Check out the social media, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Check that stuff out. Everything Ski Rex Media, check it out. Go to skirexmedia.com. You can subscribe to that too. There is still written content. I don't do it as often now, but there is stuff, and it is more blog form, but it's also longer, not quick little news stories. We're going to save those for something else. I'm going to try something else. Going to have something new coming out, plus maybe something new for the paywall. We'll see. In any case, thank you for joining me for this one. I will see you on the next one, which will be next week, where I'm going to be talking about my Indy Pass usage. That may or may not be interesting. If you like numbers, that might be interesting. I don't know. Let's find out. For now, have a good rest of your week. Stay warm if it's still cold, because it did get wicked cold. And if it's getting warm, stay cool, man. And I'll see you out there somewhere. Trails gonna be staying in the mountains this year, so I'm gonna be hitting those hiking trails, maybe. I hope. We'll see how the knees feel. See you later, y'all. Thank you.